Welcome back to the newsroom here at France 24. You're watching live from Paris. It's time now for Media Watch, when we look at what's going on in the French press. And James Creedon's here with us.
Good evening, Laura.
Now, just one story, of course, very important for French journalists. Many of whom are very shocked. The award-winning journalist Gilles Jacquier has been killed in Syria.
And I suppose Paris, in journalism circles, it really is a village when it comes to a story like this. And journalists who go away and cover, special correspondence, they tend to know each other on the ground. We've seen here in the France 24 newsroom today, a lot of people know him, and it has moved an awful lot of people. So I just said we'd open maybe with the 8 p.m. news here in France on the France 2 network, the network that he worked for. And if we could take a look at those pictures, you have a David Pujadas, the anchor of that news show, who said that often the news is upsetting and tonight it directly concerns us. He told the audience he was one of the best, one of our own, and we're shaken and bowled over. They were his words, and he said that his thoughts and the thoughts of the France 2 newsroom went out to his partner and, of course, to his two little twins, 1.5 years old. So a very personal message opening the main evening news this evening on France 2, the state broadcaster, and they showed some of those pictures that we've been looking at as well on France 24 this evening, those scenes from the ground in Homs.
Right.
So,
and adding to the tragedy, of course, is the fact that his partner, as you say, was right there with him when he was killed. And again, we've been hearing from journalists throughout the evening, haven't they? What other reactions have you
Well, if we have a look
getting?
Online, some of his colleagues, of course, have been tweeting about this. No, it's hard to put it into words, says this particular colleague, Olivier Sieu. We're all shocked. All we can say is that he was a grand reporter, that is a special correspondent. In other words, he, the words were very true in terms of his being a great reporter and a wonderful colleague as well, they say. Across the bows over at TF1, the rival private news channel or broadcaster, you have Laurence Ferrari. She presents the main evening news on their network, and she sends out the sympathies of the TF1 network to France 2 and all of his colleagues there. So lots of different tweets. You've got Gilles Jacquier était l'un des géris le plus aguerris. He was one of the most tested journalists in France 2 and a wonderful reporter. So a lot of people putting tributes to him, pouring in on Twitter. Also, this one, which I thought was interesting, from Syria, where this particular human rights activist, or self-proclaimed human rights activist and journalist, says that Gilles Jacquier should be called a freedom martyr and have a street named after him. So obviously very moved by what had happened. And also CNN's Hala Gourani. CNN were on the ground there as well at the same time, extending their condolences to France Télévisions colleague during this difficult time. So both across the French media and the international media, you can see those tributes pouring in.
And of course, he was best known here in France for his work on the programme Envoyé Spécial.
That's right, and I think we have an extract of that programme when he went to Afghanistan. He, won many laudits over the years. He won the Jacques Londres, the Albert Londres Prize, which is the top gong, I suppose, in French journalism. And here he is actually on the Envoyé Spécial show for a show on Afghanistan. He was working for that same programme, which is a special reporting programme, when he was killed in Syria. Now, it's worth pointing out, I suppose, that show, Envoyé Spécial, last year, two reporters, Hervé Guéquier and Stéphane Tapionier, who were held hostage in Afghanistan for a long period, were released. So the programme has, I suppose, has been through its fair share of difficulties over the last year in terms of hostages being taken, and now this reporter being killed.
Okay, all right, let's move on to another story. In Morocco, an anti-government rapper is going on trial.
That's right. Now, this is big on the Moroccan web at the moment. His name is Mouad Belrouat, and he was a very prominent figure in the 20th of February movement, which was a big movement last year, anti-regime, anti-monarchy, etc. Well, I suppose anti the status quo in Morocco. And so we'll take a little look at the extracts of in this video, which actually went viral on the web. A lot of people supporting him, and what they've done is they've taken this rap song, which was against the monarchy, and they've put it to images of protests from last year. And actually what he's saying in that rap song is they've sold out our country. The poor can't even buy sardines. The poorest and the weakest are suffering in the system. So that trial has started today. A lot of people are saying that it's a political trial. He is on trial for attacking a monarchist, but many people are saying, look, he's just an anti-regime rapper, and they're trying to get him out of the scene, out of the picture, basically.
All right, okay, let's move on to something a little bit lighter now, because James and I, we don't actually look like this in real life, do we?
No, we don't.
We've been photoshopped.
A little bit paler.
A little bit paler, a little bit more tired. But it's true, isn't it? Photoshop can do wonders.
It can indeed. Now, let's take a look at this this video. We'll actually listen to it first.
One application of Photoshop can give you results so dramatic, they're almost unrealistic. There's only one way to look like a real cover girl. Photoshop by Adobe.
Maybe she's born with it.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Photoshop.
Maybe she's born with it, probably not. So that was Jess Roston who put that online. She was looking at late night TV one night and she noticed that the before and after pictures were pretty much the same, except the after picture had been photoshopped. So she said, you know what, I'm going to actually do a video which shows the reality of this. And so there you have it, Photoshop by Adobe, which makes it sound like a French beauty product, which it isn't.
Okay, so you see, it's not real, we see on TV.
Right, not everything's real.
All right, James Creedon, many thanks.
Thanks, Laura.
Indeed. Well, it's time now for web news. Many stories for you, as always, including enraged residents of Hong Kong. They've been protesting against discrimination in a designer store. Take a look.